Getting to the money, I be getting to the back. People think I'm funny cause I always make them laugh. I ain't even being funny, I be really spitting facts. I'm about balance and I got talent. Every challenge I overcome. Low-key is savage, never be average. Give me a task and I'll get it done. Minding my business whenever I come in. I'm handling business while I'm having fun. I ain't worried about winning, but that would be dumb cause there's no competition. I already won, huh? Yeah.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Astrologiks, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'll be continuing my Pluto through the signs series with Pluto and Virgo, or Pluto in the sixth house. And so if you have this placement, this video is for you. And so what is Pluto? Pluto rules Scorpio and it lives in the eighth house. And when I think about Pluto and Virgo specifically, I think of Pluto being the ruler over trash. It's my Wall-E placement. And if you guys seen the movie Wall-E, you know he was a recycling person, you know. And so people who build things that solve problems or create tools that solve problems, and they can be pack rats, or collect old things or trash to make new things or parts, but particularly really just picking up on the energy of Pluto and what it is together with Virgo. And so I'll go into more detail, but let's just focus on Pluto for now. So Pluto rules over debt, taxes, insurances, other people's money, people who owe you money, government money like SSI and welfare, death, rebirth, transformation, childhood trauma, joint finances, investments, this is also psychology, what makes people tick, detectives, researchers, feminine, the feminine body parts, Pluto rules, and operations, like surgery. Okay. And so there is a huge health component here. And then it also rules like parapsychology. So all of the astrology, numerology, tarot, psychics, alchemy, any kind, all the divinations are ruled by Pluto, right? And Virgo is all about health and hygiene, you know? And so when you add Pluto to health and hygiene, it's not just nursing homes, residential homes, hospitals, doctors' offices, it's also the field of death and funeral homes, surgery and operation rooms, the mortuary in the hospitals, all of gynecology, every bit of gynecology, um, acne and skincare, so dermatologists, um, and even vets and pets and anything to do with vets and pets. This is also to be of service to others. Um, and so I think of home health aides, traveling nurses, um, the people who do the cleanup for it, or that are responsible for like sterilization and um, cleanliness and um, like germaphobes and things of that nature, right? Um, it also rules your work environment and where you work, your coworkers, your daily routine, your daily health routine, again, hygiene. Um, and so because Virgo is a mutable earth sign, um, it's going to be around very earthly things. So natural products, products that come from the earth, especially when you're talking about alchemy and cleanliness, um, and the spiritual aspect, the divination aspect of this. These are the people who probably thought of how to clear your space, before you do a tarot reading. So they probably made sage, or know the ins and outs and back ends of what it is to clear your space or your altar or your cards or your energy or your energetic fields. Um, these are the people who, even though they might be in sterilization, they made the tools. They're not necessarily that they would even work in that field or um, work want to work with those things, although that can be a possibility. But more than anything, these people are the mind behind the creation. That's what I'm really trying to get to here, because it's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules objects, um, uh, like products, household items, handheld items, um, documentation, writing, learning, reading, writing. And when you put that together with Pluto, it's like the researchers or the people behind the scenes, again, who make the creation. They can sit back and observe an environment and tell you everything you need to make it run more smoothly and healthy and um, minimal germs. So this is why I say they run health department, public health, public safety. These are Virgo ruled themes for sure, but they wrote the book on it. They are the HR department, but this person wrote the entire book on HR and how a workplace should be ran and all the pieces that it needs to be run functionally in an organized, well functioned manner. You know, um, yeah, they might be more comfortable behind the scenes, and it's more technological based than it is in-person oriented or even physically oriented. Again, it's Mercury is about the mind. It's more mental than it is with the physical, or even working with people might even be too much for them. And so these are your data analytics, the person who sits behind the computer and figures out, well, what makes this computer do the things necessary to get a particular job done. So this is a person who does the software planning for a company to do data entry for that. All the data entry software programs, I can almost guarantee a Pluto and Virgo person created this product. Or the recycling, they didn't necessarily do the recycling, but they came up with the machine that helps with recycling, or whatever process it was that created the recycling, and how to recycle and why recycling is so important, or what that has to do with public health and public safety and germs and, you know, that part of it. Um, you know, they make the tools to help you clean, or the products to help you clean, in the mortuary, or the um uh dealing with death. So maybe the cremators, they may have been the ones that thought, well, how can you get rid of a body without it being a big mess? You understand, they made the products. They're not so much the other way around. Although obviously everybody's not going to be at this highest level, right? And so when you start to break it down on a more personal level, these people might work in the fields, and when they are doing something that they like, what Mercury does is it the more information you gain about a particular topic, what Mercury does is it starts to formulate patterns, and you begin to get a real clear idea on how to get something done. Mercury is about being able to read between the lines. They can see what's not being said. They can hear what's not being said. They can see what's not being done. Whereas the details of something, very intricate details to get something done. Like they probably made the coffee machine. They probably put together the parts for the cell phone. I think I'm getting my point across, right? These people are the people behind the scenes making the actual product. Um, and it could have more to do with data and technology than it is anything else, but it doesn't have to be, because, before technology, we didn't really have all this other stuff. And so those things are still very valid and assured. So that's why I say they wrote the book. The how-to book when it comes to HR, your conduct in the workplace, why those things are important, all those trainings for your meetings. They wrote the book. They're teaching the classes. um, or they wrote the curriculum for the training. It's more so the behind the scenes stuff. To me, some people might disagree, but Pluto's a very hidden sign. It's about hidden knowledge. Virgo is not the forefront person. They don't do well with people. Although obviously there are people who do, but I can almost guarantee you these people need their own business. They just don't get along with people well. And I'm not saying that to be fussy or anything like that. They're not people. They're not people. Even though they know they do acts of service and being of service to others, but it's to fix the car. It's the inspector, the person who's going to make sure you're living in a safe, well-functioned home. Not necessarily the hands-on day-to-day responsibilities, because there are rules and regulations which they also created and thought of that they absolutely do not follow, nor do they like being told what to do. It's a trigger for any trauma that they might have experienced as a child, where they were over criticized, always told what to do, never really allowed to speak their mind, or their ideas, and the way they process information or speak about things can just be very off-putting. Or again, nobody's thinking about it. Everybody's surface level. They're looking at the overall picture, the big picture, the process, the day-to-day, but they're not like, if you ask somebody, how do you do that? Like, how did you think about, like, where did that come from? That's the perspective that Virgo is coming from, and why they are often 9 times out of 10 misunderstood, or might come off in a very derogatory, or kind of like they look down on you type of demeanor, is because of the way their mind works. The perspective that their focal point in which they can see from is not what other people are thinking about. People just follow. Virgo's like, yeah, I don't need to follow. I can see. I'm going to be the one to show you how to get there. Right. And so, I mean, let's just be fair. If you didn't think of it first, people can see that as, well, maybe you think you're better than people, or again, you're super critical, or you're a know-it-all, or things of that nature. It's just human nature, right? When it's not real, but somebody did it. I mean, at the end of the day, when you really sit down and think about it, like, who the fuck came up with all that stuff on how things are supposed to be in a workplace? I'm telling you right now, it was a Pluto and Virgo person who did it. That's who. And that's why they're the boss. And that's why they like to tell people what to do. That's why they can see the details and how to tell somebody what to do, and they're just better in that position, not actually doing it. But, well, if I just write it out for people to see and follow, then they're understood more. The language now changes, the communication seems different, but when they're actually in it, it could be a bit confrontational, right? And so these people grow up hating being told what to do. They might even feel that they're always right about things in their interactions with others, very controlling over others' lives because of the perspective in which they view things from. They're super critical of themselves. Again, these people are better off owning their business than working for someone, because, I mean, it's just a miscommunication. But if you do have to work for somebody, again, you want to make sure that you are genuinely in something that you can obsess over, the way a Pluto and Virgo person can obsess over something until they figure it out, until they perfect it and understand it from whatever level in which is needed, in order to make something run functional, which takes a lot of analytical, detailed focus, intense focus, obsessive focus, until they figure out all the pieces. And what happens when Mercury is in its own, doing what it likes to do, figuring things out, being curious enough to figure something out, a pattern is formed. It's a certain kind of language that Mercury speaks, that they see things that other people don't see. It's so, I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but things just start to come to you like, oh, okay. It's kind of like putting a Rubik's Cube together. You really have to play with a few different options before these are engineers, right? These are people who test the dermatology products, the skincare products. They're trying different chemicals to put together to see how they work and if they work, and then they're testing them, you know? It's just the type of things that it just is what it is. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, you know. And of course, not everybody's fit to have their own business, and not everybody's graceful enough to find their passion, right? And so, unfortunately, what happens with these people, if they just take any job, is that they are the subordinate one. They're probably the one who uses HR the most. I know my rights. I'm suing. I have a case. I hurt myself on the job. I need comp compensation. Um, or they'll know how to live off of the system because they wrote the book on this shit, you know? It's just what it is, and you don't have to like it, but that's just what it is. These people are going to be on SSI, SSDI, whatever insurances, compensations, unemployment, welfare. They're going to be on the system. These are going to be the people if they feel like they never find their place. But they might be pack rats or collectors or trash pickers or people who frequent like uh uh yard sales and look at old objects and I think of Pluto as things that are hidden under the ground, and these people can dig for earthly things that are left behind, forgotten, um, and find value in those things, or it's more so about like uh being able to know that you can use the parts for it, or you never know when you're gonna need it type of thing. Kind of like reminiscent on a memory that they know they're meant to have and or be, but don't have the talent or the skills because nobody's ever taught them or encouraged them to do so. They might kind of live in the past or in a past life ideology or space or place, kind of afraid to move forward and become their best self type of thing. Repressed, it could be kind of like repressed memories that they're afraid to even think about or put themselves into because, or real life can be too real in a sense. Um, and it can be a trigger. They much rather just ignore it and, pass it off as if it never happened, but live through objects or old um, uh, things that they can keep or hold on to as a memory of, I could have figured out how to put this thing together or something to that effect. Um, yeah. These people have a deep need for power and control in the workplace. They push themselves to the limit to reach success. They may face power struggles with coworkers or people in positions of authority. Um, again, these are the people who might come up with healing skincare issues, computer technology data issues, or again, they're the software developers of um, data entry for workplace things. Um, they are the how to do things. So they wrote the book on orientation, the book on these themes or trainings. They're the operations manager, or again, they wrote the book for the operations of a company or business. Mental health and anxiety can be uh, things that these people struggle or suffer with from working too much. Acne even. So again, they come up with the products to help with these things because it's probably something that they've experienced or went through in some way, shape, or form. I often think of Pluto and Virgo because Pluto rules feminine organs. and Virgo's healthcare and hygiene, that whoever came up with douche, I know nobody wants to have these kinds of conversations, but I don't care. It's something that simple, but I don't care. It was a Pluto and Virgo person who created the product douche for feminine smell and scent to clean it out. They came up with that idea, the whole, um, um, they came up with the sterilization tools, and natural products too, like vinegar, not so much bleach. It could be bleach, but that's more of a chemical. I think they would be more natural ways of cleaning things, and vinegar is the only thing I can really think about. This is not my area of expertise. I just understand the energy that I know a lot of Pluto and Virgo. My mother is a Pluto and Virgo person. She will clean the fuck out of your house, but she might prefer to use like really, really hot water, or she'll know what some lemon scents or orange scents, but not just like the scents, but like the actual using actual lemons or oranges. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't know what the things are that actually clean, but it would be natural. It would be something natural that you can clean. Um, because it's not so much just about cleanliness for Virgo, or even that it's well scented. It's not like Venus where it wants perfume and smell good. No, 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 no. Virgo is like, I want the germs out. Like I'm cleaning it for, again, public health and public safety, so that nobody gets sick, or it helps prevent sickness or germs, or it could be like a germaphobe, like things like that. And I know that there's particular natural products that you could use as cleaning products that will prevent, sterilization, that cleans something completely and utterly, like smoke or fog, or, again, I don't know the chemical or the process the Pluto and Virgo person does. Okay, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. They want cleanliness, but from a germ perspective, like a biohazard, or what's best for everybody, which is why, like ACs stay on at your job all fucking year round. It's like they can't use heat because heat makes germs, whether we want to believe it or not. You're more likely to get sick, or whatever. Cold air is, it kills the germs. Heat brings germs, cold kills germs, right? And so this is probably why the temperature is set in hospitals or all facilities to a cooler degree in some form of fashion. It also doesn't allow you to get sleepy, and you stay more alert with cool air, whether you like it or not. I know there's like 3 people like, I'm anemic. I hate the cold. Okay, okay. But um, these are just the type of things that I think of when I think of a Pluto and Virgo person. Um, um, they created the cleaning products for the surgery rooms. What cleans up blood that leaves no bacteria behind? Extremely, like, they made that product. Products on sterilization, cleaning germs, germophobia, pure natural products, or the tools for something to work smoothly. It may not necessarily be the product, but the tool to make something run smoothly, or to clean something, or to analyze something, something to that effect. They can work in very intense fields, very competitive fields. These people climb very quickly to the top of the work ladder. Again, they might be the person who's doing the inspection to make sure things are working smoothly and correctly. But yeah, I mean, this is my interpretation of Pluto and Virgo. Um, as usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.